All right, thank you very much. And like Debbie said, we are so happy to be here. This is just the friendliest place. I know I've met many of you. If I haven't met you yet, feel free. Anytime my door is open, stop in, walk right in. I'm usually back in there around the corner. But really the purpose of this today is just to tell you more about the Senior Olympics, how to get involved, and then answer any questions you might have. We also did bring some of our athletes to inspire you. They can tell and share some stories. All right, so a little bit about the Michigan Senior Olympics. We have been around since 1979, which is before I was born, but I have been working with the Michigan Senior Olympics now for 14 years. So it's pretty much right out of college. I jumped right in, and it's been the best job I could ever imagine. So we are a nonprofit organization. We do not receive any state funding, so we are our own sole organization. Like Debbie mentioned, we're now housed here in Clinton Township. And how our games operate is off of membership fees, registrations. We do tons of fundraisers throughout the year and sponsorships as well. We try to keep the price as low as we can for our participants. But we offer winter and summer games, and we do health and wellness clinics and other different activities throughout the year. All right, so summer games. We have this whole list here. I've also got it on my flyer as well. A couple things with our summer games. These games this summer, we're expecting about 1,500 people to come from all over the state. We also allow out-of-state participants, so we'll have some Canadian athletes that'll come over. Some of our friends down in Ohio, they come up for the games. And as far as these events go, we try to make sure there's something for everyone. So we may have some more extreme events like triathlon and cycling. And then we also have walking events for someone that might be new that just wants to give it a try. It's like a power walk that we do. And then we are looking at adding some new events. One of them is darts. I know, yep, woo! So this year we're going to have Clinton Township here be the first trial, event here for darts. So we're going to be holding it here at the center, and it'll be open to all of our Clinton Township residents and members here. Other than darts, we're also looking at adding bocce ball, and yep. So darts and bocce, and then also a skills competition in like a punt, pass, and kick kind of thing, or softball throw. A lot of the other states are doing that as well. So if anybody ever has any events that aren't on our list that you think we should add, I'm always open to adding new events and giving it a try. As long as we have people that want to come out, we would be more than happy to host them. So you can look at those and we'll move on. So our winter games. Our winter games are actually taking place right now. We are in the middle of it. Last week, you might have seen my door closed over there. We had our men's ice hockey tournament, powerlifting, and archery. We do indoor archery during our winter as well. This upcoming weekend, we've got our pickleball tournament and our free throw and three-point competition. We've got billiards coming up, our co-ed volleyball. So we're going to be very busy this next month. Even for our winter games, we get about 800 participants. I know pickleball has over 200 people. Our ice hockey tournament that we just had 20 teams, all ages 60 and over, which was impressive. 6 of those teams were actually made up of everybody that was 70 years and over. So it was a great 3 days of hockey, over 300 participants. It's been busy. So that's kind of a little rundown of our winter games. As far as our events that we do still have coming up, as far as billiards and the basketball free throw, we can still get more participants in if anybody is into any of those events. All right, so how it works, Michigan Senior Olympics, anyone is welcome to participate as long as their age is 50 and over. You don't have to qualify to do the state games. You don't have to be an expert at that sport. It's open to anyone. So athletes do compete in 5-year age groups, so you don't have to worry about a 50-year-old going up against a 90-year-old. Everybody is within their 5-year age groups. And we do have a few people that are in our 100-plus age category. So we've got a guy actually who has been to every single national senior game since the start of it. And he's like the one person in the country that has been to all of them that's going to be coming to the nationals this upcoming summer. So that's really exciting. As far as your age, it's your age as of the end of the year. So if you're 59 right now, but you're going to be turning 60 later, you would participate in the 60 to 64 age group. We have individual events, doubles events, and team events. So if you're interested in playing on a team, or let's say you want to do bowling, but you don't have a partner, we do have a list and we help pair people up that don't have partners. So we want to make sure everybody is aware of that as well. All right, so many people wonder how competitive is the games. We get a lot of athletes that come in that are nervous to even try it out. So we want to let everyone know, yes, we do have athletes that train year-round that are very serious in their sports, but we also have tons of people that are just doing it for the fun of it. So it doesn't matter if you get the gold, silver, bronze medal. Everyone that's out there is super encouraging to each other, and it's fun to see people coming back each year, and maybe after a couple years you might start seeing them on the medal stand because they'll become motivated. But even that last person coming across the finish line at our 5K, everyone's standing around cheering them on, and it's just the whole camaraderie of the games is really the best part of it. So it's really all about your personal best is what we like to say. So if you come out, try to do better the following year, and just keep trying to improve. So the cost to participate, we do charge a $25 yearly membership fee for the Michigan Senior Olympics. That just helps keep our programs up and running. And then depending on the sport, it could be anywhere from $15 to $48. And that helps cover the cost for the facility, the equipment. Everybody gets a welcome bag, t-shirt, medals for first through third place in each age group. We do water and snacks at the event. So we do try to make it affordable for everyone. And if someone's not able to afford any of these fees, we do have stuff set up. We don't want anybody to not do the games because of the cost. So everyone is welcome. All right, so we are a part of the National Senior Games, meaning we are the only qualifying location in the whole state that would go on to the National Senior Games. So all of the different states have athletes that would then be sent to nationals. We normally have around 500 athletes that'll go and compete in the National Senior Games, and you'll get to talk to some of them right here in a minute. So the ones that are coming up are going to be in Des Moines, Iowa, and athletes would have had to qualify last summer to participate in those games. So every other year is a nationals. So this year is the off year. So if anybody does the games this summer, there's no qualifying. It just ends with our state games. Even though nationals is every other year, we still want to hold events yearly to make sure people can remain active. And then I talked about Michigan being an open state and that anyone's welcome to come and participate. And that also is the same with all of the other states in our region. So anybody can go to the Ohio Games or Minnesota and participate in their events as well. So how to get involved? It's easy for you guys because we're right here. You can just stop into our office. So other than becoming an athlete, we also are always looking for volunteers. So if you're not quite ready to do the games yet, we need about, I think, 400 volunteers throughout our games each year to make them a success. So we really heavily rely on our volunteers. And as far as being a volunteer, it could be anything from just sitting at a table, checking in athletes, handing them their t-shirts and welcome bags, or it could be out on the track passing waters out to people as they go by. But it's really fun to come out and volunteer. All right, so that is our contact information. But like I said, we're right down the hall, so you can come and talk to us anytime. You can see we've got some of our medals over here and our t-shirt. That's what you would get. If you were doing the winter games, we come up with a new design every year. And I am now going to, I believe, pass the microphone over to Lisa Hypner. She is one of our swimming athletes, and she's going to share a little bit about her experiences.
Hi, my name's Lisa. I'm an athlete, and I'm a swimmer. So it's kind of, oops, sorry. I was 55, and that was the first time I heard about Michigan Senior Olympics, but I had gone past the deadline. And so I talked to Becky and asked her if there was anything I can do. And that summer, I volunteered for the track and field. And at that point in time, I was completely enlightened watching people that were older than I was competing in a sport that I'm horrible at. And it was an incentive for me. I decided then to start swimming. I changed sports. I had played competitive tennis for about 25 years and decided to pick a new sport, which was swimming. And so that summer I joined OPC and decided that I was going to swim my first Michigan Senior Olympics in 2010 with the intent to qualify for the National Senior Games in 2011. So all I needed to do in swimming was place in the top 4. Well, I had never swam before competitively, so I wasn't sure where that was going to land me, but I was lucky enough to place in the top 4. And then I had an additional year to train for National Senior Games, which in 2011 were in Houston. At that point in time, I was sold, and my mantra is that life is full of opportunities, and you have the option to take that opportunity now or miss the opportunity. So every time I have a chance to do something new, that's what I do. I'm 71, so the road ahead of me isn't as long as it was when I was 20 and I could say, oh, I'll do that next week. So for each and every one of you, whether you were an athlete or you're going to be an athlete, I say take that chance, take the opportunity, and be a part of the Michigan Senior Olympics this summer. It's a non-qualifying year, so this is your year to see where you are in whatever it is that you choose to do, whatever sport, and then you will have another year before 2026, which is a qualifying year for National Senior Games, which will be in Oklahoma in 2027. So I've been swimming a little more than 14 years now. I have had the pleasure of traveling across the country for National Senior Games. I have had the pleasure of meeting numerous people in the sport that I never would have met. And those, again, were the opportunities that I chose not to miss. For people who don't think that they're good enough as an athlete, I will tell you this. You will always be better than the person sitting at home on the couch. So whether you come in last or whether you come in first, you're still faster than the people that chose not to take part. So I hope to see any one of your faces this summer at Michigan Senior Olympics. I will now introduce a fellow swimmer, Donna McMinn.
Yes, I also started in 2010 after I retired, and I knew that I wanted to swim. And at OPC, where we all are based, they have a beautiful pool. So I learned how to swim in a farm pond. And my mother was a swimmer in high school, so I never had any competitive experience. Just decided that, what the heck, let's just go and try out. And I'm a distance swimmer. And so distance, well, I do 3-mile races, open water, and I just kind of gone a little kooky. But anyway, it is you got to start someplace, and you meet some wonderful people. And when you volunteer, you meet more wonderful people. It is just, it just is a fantastic thing for seniors to do. And whether it's darts, which I can hardly wait to see you people, doing the darts, or I mean, we had volunteered for track and field, and this 100-year-old, which Becky was very nervous about because he was doing the high jump, but they accommodated him because he was the only one over 100, and just kept saying, this high, this high, this high, and he made it over, and he got his gold medal, but just wonderful attitudes. And like I said, volunteering is also just a wonderful way to determine, if that sport is for you. But this year, being a non-qualifying year, is awesome. And if you do qualify, it's a great way for National Senior Games, great way to see the country. Houston was the first one that Lisa and I and Bob went to, and we've been to Birmingham, Alabama, Cleveland, and then Minneapolis. Yeah, Albuquerque. Albuquerque was fun. Albuquerque, though, has quite an elevation, so that was something to get used to compete, particularly if you were doing kind of a very active thing. But still, it just is a fabulous organization, and Becky and Kelly do just a fantastic job running it, and everybody is welcome, and everybody is going to encourage you, whatever sport you want to try, and this is your year. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to my husband, Bob Van Camp, who is in a different sport.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to see all of you. So I retired in 2011, and I thought my wife was having too much fun. That's why I retired. She retired the year before. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to follow in her lead and take up a sport for the Senior Olympics. And I remember in junior high school, I began to make very poor decisions because in lunch hour you had a choice between dancing with girls or playing ping pong. I chose ping pong. I don't know why, but I did. Anyway, so I thought, okay, I played that and I might try it again. So I had not played in a long time, and I went down to a senior center in Warren. And I walked in, and there was this white-haired guy, and I thought, well, he's at least 20 years older than me, and I move pretty well, even though I have 2 artificial knees. I should be able to beat him. Was I ever wrong? Another poor decision. He beat me soundly. I'll use a polite phrase. He beat me soundly. As it turned out, he just won the National Senior Games gold medal in table tennis in the 80 to 84-year-old age bracket. So it was a wake-up call to me that you can't judge people's skill level by the amount of white hair they have or how old they might be. But since then, I remember going to my first senior games in Cleveland. I didn't win a match, but it became my incentive, and you heard Lisa and Donna talk about this. It became a focus. You make that your goal as a way to train for something and do your best. And each national games I go to, I'm doing better and better. Donna and I are not at Lisa's level. She's pretty modest. Not only does she win medals here, but she wins medals at the national level. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to win a single medal. That's not the purpose of being involved, right? People have different perspectives. I'm going to tell a story on my wife. I was in the stands watching her in Birmingham, Alabama, getting ready for a race. Now, one of our colleagues, who is also a great swimmer like Lisa, his name is Kurt Olsman. And I watched Donna and Kurt prepare for this swim event. Kurt was on the benches. He was meditating. He was getting focused. His mind was getting ready. What was my wife doing? Well, she was down on the pool deck, and she befriended someone who was from Arkansas. And this person went to the University of Arkansas, and their nickname for their football team were the Razorbacks. And this woman was teaching Donna the Razorback call. Suey! And there they were. That was my wife's way of prepping for this particular event. So needless to say, we don't take ourselves seriously. We try our best. We make the senior games at the state level a focus. But if we don't win a medal, that's okay. It still is something, as Lisa said, we're doing a lot better than those that are on the couch and those that don't even try. So it's great that all of you have shown up here. It obviously shows that you have an interest in darts or bocce ball or some of the other sports that are on this banner over here. And all of us would encourage you to take that step, try. You don't have to limit yourself to one sport. It could be more than one sport. And don't worry about, physical and mental challenges you may have. I remember one senior games I went to recently. None of us could remember the score. And so fortunately we had someone, and I'm 76, but none of us could remember the score, and we're all in the same age bracket, but we had some help doing that. And there was a woman at the National Senior Games we've seen from Washington, D.C., and she's blind. That didn't stop her. She was out there competing. Donna and Lisa and I have a good friend who competes in the senior games, and she's had polio since an early age. She beats people with 2 able limbs against those who have 4. But that doesn't matter to her either. So regardless of where you are at in life, and regardless of how much you or how active you are, this is a great organization to be part of, and we hope to see you at the games. Thanks.
All right. I hope all of you feel motivated by our athletes, and we can stick around and you can ask them questions. We got some medals to show you and some information. Welcome to the Michigan Senior Olympics. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah, so in track and field, we do everything from shorter sprints. We have a 50-meter, 100, 200, 400, 800, all the way up to a 1,500, which is just short of a mile. We also offer all of the traditional field events, so long jump, high jump, shot put, discus, pole vault, hammer throw, triple jump, if I didn't say that one. So, yep, we got javelin. So, and I know some people, it might have been, maybe you did track and field years ago and it's been a while since you've participated. So as far as the Senior Olympics, we don't right now have any training programs. That is something that we're looking to add or partner with organizations that can provide training for sport-specific opportunities. But if someone wanted to try javelin and didn't know where to start, we would try to put you in touch with either some of our athletes who throw the javelin or maybe a local high school or college coach that might be able to do some trainings as well. Yes, so dance sport. That one is not part of the National Senior Games, so we do offer some events just at the state level. Ice hockey is another one. We don't have ice hockey at nationals. But dance sport is a ballroom competition that we hold twice a year. It's out at the Royal Park Hotel, so we have people that'll sign up to compete. We have 2 different categories. So there's an amateur category where both dancers would be ages 50 and over. And then the pro-am category is where maybe the studio owner would dance with their students or the instructors. So it's really fun to watch the pro-ams as well. Only the senior athlete is the one being judged, but of course, if you have a really good partner, that helps too. So we'll have some 20-year-old dancers out there, and it's super fun to watch. It's a very exciting event. We do have dinner tickets that can be purchased for people to come and enjoy a nice evening out. But yeah, they offer ballroom dancing. There's international Latin, international standard, American rhythm. There's a country western section. We do some Argentine tango. So it's really fun to see all the different styles. They do offer social dancing in between when they go do like costume changes. Yeah, and it's amazing to see, like, you'll go from the ballroom, American ballroom, where there's these big, long, flowing, beautiful dresses, over to, like, the rhythm, where they're the shorter dresses with the fringe and, you know, just the different styles. So, yeah, we've got judges that are professionals that come out, and it's really a super fun event. So I'll make sure to share that once that event starts coming up. Yes, all of our events are free to attend, so we don't charge for spectators, with the exception of the ballroom dance, just because that's at the Royal Park. But all of the other events, yeah, we encourage spectators to come cheer people on. We get quite a few spectators. We'll have kids come in with making big signs for their grandparents, and yeah, so definitely come and check them out.
When we were in Florida, there was a young lady there. She was 103. She did her first running race, track and field race, at the age of 100. Her goal was to run the 100-yard dash at 100. She continued all the way up to age 105. And then she got macular degeneration, and she started to get really nervous when she ran, because she was afraid she wasn't going to be able to see and she would trip and fall and hurt herself. I think she was 106 or 107. She just died last year. But this woman could convince anybody to take the leap of faith and to do something, make the decision to do something that you've never done if you aren't an athlete. Now's the time to start. My goal is to be the last man standing. That way I know I will be my best, and I'll be better than everyone else, because there won't be anyone else. I was at Nationals last year. Sorry for taking up, this was one story. I was at Nationals last year. We were in Pittsburgh, and I needed a knee replacement, so I was having issues with my knee, and I had ice on it, and I was sitting next to this older woman, and she asked me if, when I was done with the ice, if she could have it, and I said, I'll go get you an ice bag. And she said, no, she said, yours will be fine. So I look at her, and her whole hand is purple, and I didn't know who this lady was, and I said, what happened to your hand? And she said, I was putting my tech suit on. A tech suit is, if you watch swimming, it's the suit that goes down to here that is not very easy to get into. If you remember in the olden days trying to get into girdles, it's about that bad. Actually, it's probably worse. She got her thumb caught in her suit. It twisted it, and she went black and blue. And I said, oh, do you swim? And she said, yes. I said, how did you do? And she said, I'm too embarrassed to say. She was 96. She won every event in her age group. And I said, that's awesome, congratulations. And she said, I was the only one in my age group. And I said, you are who I want to be. So now is the time so that you can chase to the end of time to be the last man standing.